Welcome back to Wrestler 101. Before we get started today, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I keep getting the request to do a video on calling matches in the ring. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm ever going to do that specifically. That's something that's, you know, man, it takes so much hands-on to kind of learn how to do that, and you know, it's about finding your own kind of rhythm and really, you know, I don't know that it's something that would communicate very well through the lens, through the camera. Maybe someday I'll do something like that, you know, when we get a little further in, when I get a little more of a handle on how I'm running this video series anyway. But I just wanted to address that. But I will talk about calling it in the ring, because calling it in the ring is something that is becoming a lost art in the business, which I find to be completely unacceptable. You know, here at Pinfall Academy, we absolutely put an importance on learning to call it in the ring. I firmly believe that is what the business is intended to be. You know, all these guys that plan their matches out ahead of time and plan all their spots, you're missing out on the fundamental art of wrestling. Why would you do that? This business was built on a business model where opponents were kept separate from each other. They stayed in different locker rooms. The winner, whoever was supposed to win, was passed back and forth between, you know, the promoter. Maybe a ref might get the message to them. But then they most of the time didn't have a chance to talk prior to their match. They didn't sit backstage and have a secret meetup. They didn't have cell phones and call across and plan their match. They got to the ring, and that's when they figured out their match in the moment. And the most important part about that is the connection with the fans. When you call it in the ring, you are you're free to work with the fans, react with the fans, and adapt your match to whatever the fans want to see on a given night. When you sit backstage and plan your match and plan everything out, plan all the spots, you are planning, anticipating, hoping that the crowd reacts a certain way to your spot. And if not, then what? If they're not reacting to your match the right way, if you can't make adjustments in the ring, if you can't change the call, if you can't change the way the match is playing out, then you're just sunk. The guys who are incapable of calling the match in the ring are absolutely missing the most important skill of this business. I firmly believe that. I know that we're in a stage of the business where all the wrestlers want to do, you know, cool spots and really intricate spots, and, you know, have a lot of cool moves and reversals, and a lot of that stuff needs to be planned out. But we're also in a phase of the business where the attendance is at all-time lows, and I firmly believe it's because so many of the wrestlers, so many of the performers have gotten away from the most fundamental thing about this business, and that was the spontaneity and the reaction. You know, the wonderful thing about wrestling is that the fans are part of it. You know, you can go to if you go to watch golf, they don't want you to make any noise. They're gonna quiet you down before the putt. They're gonna quiet you down. You know, you're not gonna cheer on Tiger Woods. I don't know who golfs, but you're not going to cheer on Tiger Woods or Arnold Palmer as they, you know, are taking their swing. You know, none of the sports. You can go and scream, but you don't really, you know, the fans don't affect that. When a fan comes to a professional wrestling match, when their guy's in trouble, their cheers can lift him up, but not if the guys haven't planned for it, not if the wrestlers are too interested in doing cool spots. You know, you want that spontaneity, that reaction to the crowd when a fan yells at the bad guy and the bad guy turns around and yells back, and that leads into the good guy being able to take an advantage back, or, you know, get an extra moment to recover. Like, that is stuff you can't plan for, because you can't plan for a fan to make any noise at that point. You can only react in the moment. And if you don't have that ability to react. And if you've planned your match to a point where, you don't even need the crowd, then you are absolutely robbing the crowd of the thing they came for. You're missing the entire point of professional wrestling and why this business is great and why this business is different than any of the so-called real sports.